Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Girl Dad. I'm Abigail Frechette.
And I'm Peter Frechette.
And today we are going to be talking about how Kim Kardashian failed the bar exam because of Chat GPT.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. Oh, that's so
Kidding,
good.
I'm kidding, I'm
That would be
kidding.
so fun. Now I'm disappointed.
Did you know that at all?
No, is that true?
I think it's true. So I didn't know this until I was looking up stuff about the election results yesterday. And I just like saw a headline about it that she failed her law exam and she was blaming ChatGPT. But I was like, why would you even tell people you failed? Like, you don't have to t tell people. And why would you
Right.
blame ChatGPT? Like, girl, you've got so many, like, I don't know. It
Yeah.
just feels
There's
like
a
a really
lot.
dumb.
And I don't even know how that works unless like she's blaming Chat GPT because
I think for
she
study.
cheated.
No, no, no,
Oh,
it was that's how
oh,
like
it's
she studied.
inaccurate information from
Yeah.
ChatGPT, which of course it tells you that perhaps it might be. So
Well, yeah, it's you have to
maybe
like
that's it. Yeah, I think
fact
that's a
check.
reflection on her. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. Sorry, wrong way to
um,
study.
that's our
Learning
first
experience for
topic
everyone.
checked off for
Okay,
the day.
excellent. Excellent. Well, it's funny that you came upon that while you were doing research on elections. Very
Yes,
exciting.
I
This is
know
an
I'm having a
exciting
great
Tuesday
morning.
night.
Yeah,
You what?
I'm having a great morning. I'm very happy this morning. I have a new mare.
Yes. Okay, we're recording on Wednesday, so you just gave that away, then it's not close to being.
Sorry. I think people know we don't record on Fridays at like
That's
midnight
true.
so that they get it first thing in the morning.
I guess that's
I
true.
think
We have a
we've
very,
made that clear
very
before.
intelligent audience, not
Um,
unlike the audience that voted on Tuesday.
yeah.
Yay! Yes, you
Woo!
have a new mayor.
Yep.
Very exciting. Did you listen
Yeah.
to his speech at all?
Nope.
He,
I fell
he was
asleep.
very good. He's very good. Um,
Yeah.
I just heard clips this morning, and
Yeah, I've seen
he
stuff
gave.
this morning, but
And we need to give a shout out to the polar bears because he is a Bowdoin grad, like your
oh,
mother.
yes, yes, yes. I forgot about
Uh,
that.
very exciting, which is a little frightening. Class of 2014.
Oh God, yeah. It is. I mean, it's
Uh,
like we're getting to that point where it is like there's starting to be like,
your age,
yeah. It's not
which is
fright. I mean,
good.
I'm happy about it. It is cool. I will say, so I went last night I was out for dinner with some friends, and like coming home on the train. So like because I kind of the polls closed at 9. We kind of didn't expect to hear maybe until like I didn't know if we were
Midnight.
going to hear till the morning. Like I didn't know if I was going to go to bed and wouldn't hear. And I got out of, by the time we left dinner, I probably left dinner around like 9:30 and I was getting on the subway and all of a sudden I got a text from another friend who I wasn't at dinner with and I was like, "Holy shit." Like I literally was just looking and it still said they had like half the votes to count and they had just called it for him and I was like, "Oh my God, like that's crazy." And all of a sudden this group of like definitely Gen Z Mamdani, like they had jackets and t-shirts on and they all had their I voted stickers came like down the subway stairs and they just had like the biggest smiles on and it just made me so happy and they were just having such a great time and you could tell they were going to some party somewhere and I was like that is so nice and it I don't know it just like it was nice to have that feeling because I haven't seen that in such a long time, especially related to like electoral politics. You get that way more with like, I don't know, grassroots movements than like actual functioning government politics, I guess
Well,
you
it's
would
got a,
say.
I would say, a little bit reminiscent of when you were in DC in 2020.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
even like it's hard to that thing is it's that's annoying to like look back on because of how what you're referring to is when Biden beat Trump in 2020 and I don't want to like take away from the fact that it was great to beat Trump in that moment, especially like with COVID going on and all that stuff and like celebrating in the streets of Washington, D.C. in front of the White House was a great moment, but also like that moment for me now is tainted because of kind of like how bad the
it didn't
Biden
last.
administration was and that like he was reelected. I don't know, like I feel like it was kind of like celebrating the lesser of two evils in a way where this is like actually celebrating someone you like really believe in a bit more. Um yeah, so I don't know. But it did have that kind of energy to it. But yeah, it
I
was
do
very nice.
I do want to Mamdani is a democratic socialist, as
Hmm.
uh, we all know, and
Yes,
as are you, and
I
as
am.
I might be, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And for those of you who aren't fully familiar with what a democratic socialist is, please go through the Girl Dad history, and you'll find our democratic socialist episode. I probably could have looked it up to tell you what number it was, but I didn't. But it
I
was
think
about a
it's like in
year
the
ago, as I
midway
recall.
range. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But that was a very informative episode where you kind of let me know that I actually was probably a democratic socialist.
Yeah, I mean, I think that people get really afraid, like just I'm not going to go into like all the things of what it is. If you are really interested, check that out. Or just, I mean, there's some great like simple YouTube videos explaining what it is, but I think people are really afraid of the term socialism. And I think
Absolutely.
that's there's fair reasons to be afraid of that term, especially if you're
But
from an older generation.
but
Um,
perhaps they should
but there's
realize that there are two words involved there, and
absolutely, yeah,
take both of them into account,
yes,
and
yeah,
it
yeah,
makes things much more palatable, I think.
yeah. Um,
But that
but yeah,
wasn't
I
that
think
wasn't the
it's well, no, I just really quickly, I do want to say, I think that for me, this election is really, I guess, indicative of where the Democratic Party has been stuck at for, I'd say, a good chunk of my like voting lifespan, if that makes sense, of this kind of centrist Democrat versus this like actual liberal and the kind of infighting that they go through and like the falsities of all of that and it's nice to actually have someone who I actually think is fighting for the people they say they're actually fighting for, not just pretending to fight for those people in words, actually win. Because I think that actions matter more than words. So yeah, I that was just my last kind of thought on this election. Um,
No, I think that's fair. I do. In listening to various people over the last 12 hours or so, um, I do think that I have no idea who said it, but there was um, I would say a conservative commentator on some program who made the comment about, well, Mamdani's a democratic socialist, and then you have Mikey Sherrill and Abigail Spanberger are much more centrist uh, Democrats, and so that just doesn't work for anybody. And whoever was the sort of Democrat spokesperson at the time said, "No, that just means it's a big tent party, and we can." And that's to me what the Democrats need to do is embrace it rather than exaggerate the divisions,
Yeah.
embrace the diversity
Yeah.
and say, there's many ways to try to solve these problems, and let's just try to do it together rather
Mhm.
than fighting amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Um, and the one somebody else I heard, I think this morning talking about, actually it was the guys on the Crooked Media guys who
Oh, yeah.
recorded last night at probably 9 o'clock California time,
Yeah.
and they said one of the great things about this election was, and you touched on it as well, you didn't have to wait very long to find out who
No.
won.
No.
And people were expecting to be up until all hours of the night. We've done it before, and to hear, I mean, Virginia was. I knew the winner of Virginia. Virginia's polls closed an hour before New Jersey's polls closed, and I knew the winner of Virginia before New Jersey's polls closed. Within that hour,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
declared a winner in that, and it was
No,
incredible.
you had
And
texted us like so soon that about
well,
Virginia.
I mean, there's a couple of reasons that I wanted to inform my family about that. You have Phoebe, who voted in Virginia as a student at
Yeah.
the University of Richmond, and the winner of the election's name is Abigail. So,
Obviously.
everybody needed to
Yeah.
know about that.
Everybody wins.
And I was very happy that Phoebe sent me a TikTok this morning of a piece of Abigail Spanberger's speech in which she uh, was saying how much she loved her three daughters, and it was a very moving aspect of her speech. And then she turned to one of her daughters and said, "And you failed to clean up your room like you promised me you would."
We love a girl mom. We love a girl mom.
Absolutely. So yeah, the elections were very fun, and so hopefully that will be something that the country can build upon and uh, continue to. I don't want to get too much into, because I'm a little bit of a nerd about the politics of things, and some of the
For sure. Yeah.
sort of lesser known elections were pretty cool too,
Yeah.
and
But
so
it's
and,
important. It's always important to vote in smaller elections. This was one of the questions on the New York ballot. I don't know if people are aware of this, was whether we should be voting on like New York local elections on bigger election years. That was like a one of the ballot measures. Is that what they're called? Like the
yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah, like
Um,
propositions or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, and that I mean there's like pretty interesting debates about whether or not that's a good idea because it's like, well, if you do that, you're taking attention away from the candidates who I actually learned a lot more about the smaller candidates, even candidates that like weren't in the mayor's race, like smaller kind of like local to my like the Chelsea Hell's Kitchen area kind of thing. Um uh but then it's also, do you get higher voter turnout when it's like a national, bigger election, so then you get more people voting. So it's, I mean,
Well,
there's all these kind of
I guess
stuff.
they kind of answered that last night, since they had more people vote than they have since
Well, yeah.
1969. So
Yeah.
I guess
So
it's okay. The
I
one thing
yeah.
I heard yesterday, which I thought was very interesting, and I don't remember exactly where it was from. It was Kentucky or Alabama, one of those sort of southern states. People were calling the election office to say that their polls were closed, and the election officers had to tell them that yes, the polls are closed because there's no election today. They people are so into it. They were like, I want to vote. I want to vote. I got to vote. And they couldn't vote because there was nothing to vote on. But I just think that,
Yeah.
people are more engaged, which I think is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome. That's very cool.
yeah, I thought so.
Um,
And
Very cool, very cool. Well, before we leave the world of politics, I do want to talk about something kind of different, but kind of something that I think might be interesting to people and might have some similar things. I actually want to talk about two things. They're kind of totally different from each other, but also similar in certain ways. Um, uh, I recently, thanks to my very good friend Macy, have gone to two screenings for a TV show and a movie. The TV show for you guys came out yesterday on Netflix. Sorry. It's called Death by Lightning, and it is about James A. Garfield, who was a president of the United States of America. He's probably the least known president of the United States of America, but it's about his presidency. Um, you got some pretty big names in here. You got Michael Shannon, Matthew McFadden, Nick Offerman, Betty Gilpin, some pretty cool people in there. But I think it's an interesting story about politics and kind of maybe someone who about the struggles of power and how politics work and how elections are won and manipulated perhaps. So I think it's an interesting time for a show like this to come out.
Can I
Um,
ask just when Garfield was
oh,
president?
you can, and I can tell you
I'm trying to remember. Did he
he
die
was
in office?
he was the 20th president. So he was president. He fought in the Civil War. And he
Okay.
was president um only in 1881. So
Oh,
he served from March to September.
oh wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I'll check
And
that out.
so the
Wait,
way
that's a TV show or a movie?
it's a TV show, it's a mini series. I believe there's 4 episodes. It's on Netflix. I've only seen the first episode. Um, and I saw like a Q&A with the creator and most of the stars of it. Um, and I think the way they're doing it is really cool because they're basically it's him paralleled with I don't know how you pronounce the name of the guy, but the guy who shot him.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and so kind of, paralleling their lives and like how you get to this point. But I think it's an interesting story and the first episode, I will tell you, Macy and I were sitting there watching it and we were literally like, this is just Conclave. Like, this is literally just Conclave. Like, I mean, you guys should watch it. I don't know. I think the energy of the show is really good and I think it's a fun watch. And if you're interested in like American history at all, I think it's kind of a
That
cool
sounds cool.
story that I didn't know anything about. And the cast, like I said, really great cast. Um, and obviously, as a Pride and Prejudice fan, Matthew McFadden, love him. The other one
Yeah, I went more to Nick Offerman myself. Seemed very,
oh, I
yeah,
mean, obviously,
late
love Nick
late
Offerman.
1800s.
Well,
Late
yeah, for
1800s
sure,
fits him
for sure.
perfectly.
But yeah. So the other thing I saw, I cannot say this word for the life of me, so I'm so sorry. But the other movie I saw was Nuremberg. Is that how you say
No,
it?
you got it. Nuremberg.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is about the trials of um the
The World
Nazi
War II
war
criminal. Yeah,
criminals. Yeah.
yeah. Nazi war criminals. Yeah.
Um, but it's about specifically Douglas Kelly's relationship, specifically with Herman Goring. Um, he's Douglas Kelly was the psychologist who was working with them. And the movie I think is a little long. I personally have a hard time seeing Rami Malek. as an actor because I can't see him as anyone besides Rami Malek, and I don't know why. My friends were telling me it's because it's like something where he has like iPhone face, but it's like Rami Malek face, where it's like I only see him as Rami Malek. Like I can't see him as another character. Anyways, you still should go see the movie because again, I think it's a really interesting story and particularly the ending, I think is really well done and given our like current political climate, I think it's really well put together. I think the story there are some really hard moments to watch in the movie, but I do think it was I don't know, just there were certain moments, and I think specifically this psychologist story was something that like I wish I had known more about, and I wish I was taught about in school because I think it's one of those things where you're like, why is this not a history that we learn more from? Like, why was this not something that people were paying attention to? It's like the we learned this lesson already. Why didn't we stick with it
Oh,
kind of thing?
yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, that one, I don't know when that movie, I think that movie's out already.
I know I saw a preview for it. Um,
Oh yeah, that comes out November 7th. So that should be out
okay,
when you
Friday,
guys hear this. So
today. Yeah.
yeah, today for you. So
Uh,
both of those should be out when you guys hear this. But
well, if we're
definitely
going to
check
talk
those
about
out.
if we're going to talk about movies,
Yeah,
um,
go
I've
right
actually been
for
to
it.
the movies twice recently, both musically related, but
Oh,
more um, perhaps um, mental health issues was the primary storyline in both. Now that I think about it,
hmm.
I highly recommend both. Blue Moon and the Springsteen movie.
I'm
Um,
excited to see that. What? I don't know what Blue Moon is. I haven't heard of that.
Blue Moon is so you've heard of Rodgers and Hammerstein,
Hmm.
the composer and lyricist for many
Yeah.
great musicals. But before there was Rodgers and Hammerstein, there was Rodgers and Hart, and um, Hart was replaced by Hammerstein. And this movie is it's basically a play in a that you can see in a movie theater. And it's
Okay.
about Hart, and it is basically just him one night at Sardi's in New York after the premiere of Oklahoma, which he did
Uh,
not write.
yeah.
Hammerstein wrote, and it is uh, it's a very good story. It's almost a one man show. Um, it's and the acting is and I'm drawing a blank now on who plays the lead
All right.
because it's
For you.
it's Ethan Hawke. Now
Oh,
that I remember it, it's Ethan Hawke, and the movie ended, and Mom said, "Wow, Ethan Hawke was great," and I said, "Ethan, that was Ethan Hawke." It is
really interesting.
amazing.
So the
It is
opposite of my Rami Malek thing.
exactly. And if you see it, you will. I mean, just watch the previews, and you will probably go, "No way, that's Ethan Hawke." And the
Yeah.
other thing with Hart was, I think Hart was like 5'4" or something, and so I saw Ethan Hawke on one of the late night shows talking about the movie and how they made it and how they shot it to make him appear short because he's
Yeah.
not.
No.
It's really cool, but the story itself, I mean, it is not uplifting,
No.
um, but it is it's a really well done movie. So I would highly recommend Blue Moon
Okay.
and Deliver Me from Nowhere, the Springsteen movie. Also, as a fan,
I mean, yeah.
I I didn't know what to expect. It was not what I expected. Basically, the movie is about the making of Nebraska, which was his solo album that followed Darkness on the Edge of Town. No, followed The River, um, which was the river was kind of the first time that he had done just a real bang out world tour, and
Yeah.
which basically sent him into depression and or furthered his depression. And the story, having seen him on Broadway, having read his book, I learned something from this movie I that he's putting out there, because he had approval of everything, and what the
Yeah.
story that he is allowing to be put out there is really quite amazing. So highly recommend that. Um, so yeah, now we switched to reviews. That's very nice. Well done.
Yeah, that was fun. I definitely want to see the Bruce Springsteen movie. I feel like that. What did you think of like the performances? Do you feel like they
Um,
were well done?
both
Like they
Jeremys were great.
Oh, good.
Um, really, really good. Um, Trying to
I
think
mean,
if there was anybody
aesthetically,
else.
I feel like they give, but that's only like half the battle, you know?
And the thing that got me um, as a fan,
Hmm.
and it's very, very small, um, but basically the movie starts with kind of the end of the river tour. It's the
Yeah.
last night of the river tour, and them performing Born to Run live, and watching that. And it's really, other than maybe one other scene, it's the only time you see the band.
Oh,
and
wow.
and the band looks so much like the band. It's
Wow.
really good. It is
That's
really good.
crazy.
So
And
that
I
was,
mean,
and
that's stuff you would know. Like that's
I
your,
mean, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
looking at, you know, Danny Federici on keyboards and me going, just, oh my God, that he's dead.
That's him. Wait, how'd they get him?
And I
That's
mean, there aren't
crazy.
real close-ups or anything, but I just looking at
Yeah.
them, it was really good.
Wow.
Um,
That's
so yes,
cool.
I would highly recommend that.
Okay.
Um, so
Nice. All
anyway,
right.
moving on to another
Yes.
topic. I know you're a little bit tired today, and
Yeah.
as am I. But
Yeah.
part of the reason, of course, for that is the change in time.
Which shouldn't be because this is the
No,
one
we
where you
actually fell
get.
back, and you're supposed to get an extra hours
Yeah.
of sleep, which I don't do.
Um,
And I don't want to get into the history of this thing too
well,
much,
the
and
history is
why we.
also like stupid,
Yeah,
right?
it's like, isn't it a farming thing or an
No,
energy
it's not.
thing?
It's not a farming thing. That's a lie. They
So what is
lied to us.
what is it? What is it?
It's literally something that started in like the world wars. And I don't understand. The farmers didn't want it because the farmers wanted an extra hour to milk their cows and like get their crops so that they could bring it to the places. The what are they called?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the
those
yeah,
things. So they
yeah, the
don't like
farm
it.
stands
Yeah, that's the word.
to market, to bring it to market.
Ew. That's what it's called. So they don't like it. So that's a myth. The farm thing is a myth, but I did believe that that's what it was. No, it's something that happened in World War One, I think, or was like brought up in World War One, and then was like fully implemented in World War Two. And it has to do with it's like literally just because like of the way like lighting works, like just because of energy. And
Uh,
I feel like I just think we should just stop it. Like, I don't think there's a purpose to it anymore. I think the like debates over it are dumb. And I think that there's no, like, if there were actual, real, like, benefits to it, I feel or let me put it this way. I think that there's no, there's no benefit strong enough to it that would be like detrimental if we didn't have it. Do you know what I mean? Like if
yeah,
we didn't have it, we wouldn't be like missing out on anything.
no, if
Because
you didn't have it, you just deal with it, and it's not. I
yeah,
mean,
people have
I
seasonal
wanted to.
depression already. Like,
I
calm
want it to
down.
happen one more time. I want it to happen one more time. I want to spring forward
Yeah.
and be done with it
Because you
because
want
I
to
don't
live
care.
in daylight
I
savings
would
time.
rather it be lighter later in the day
Yeah.
than earlier in the morning. And it
Yeah.
doesn't make that much difference, but that's
No,
I mean,
I think you want to live in daylight savings time. I think that's like you want to live in the summer, like that
yes,
time
yes,
zone. I
yeah,
believe
yeah,
that's like the way it works.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I think yeah.
yeah.
But it's just,
But
yeah, it's very like, and it is funny because I think that, this is like old news, but, I feel like I saw Marco Rubio, this is like something he's really passionate about. And I remember seeing a tweet that was like, this is the only thing I agree with Marco Rubio about. And I'm like, I actually think that this is the only thing that like Congress could get done and like everyone would be happy about. And I don't know
yeah,
why they don't do it.
no,
Like,
I
we'd
don't either.
all be like
It's
thrilled. Just do
yeah,
it. Like,
just do it.
just
Absolutely.
do it. Um,
Uh,
and everyone would be like, you guys did something and we're so proud of you, you know? Yeah. I don't have
Absolutely.
any more
But
thoughts on it besides that.
all right. Well, speaking of old news and lack of sleep, I
Mm-hmm.
suggested that we talk a little bit about the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that it's old news because it's been over for a week, and lack of sleep
Oh,
because one of the games was 18 innings long and ended up
crazy.
at about 3 in the morning.
That's
Um, which I read a very intelligent comment from Dan Shaughnessy in the Boston Globe, who sometimes really angers me. But he said if because the Red Sox played an 18 inning game in the 2018 World Series, I think it was, against the Dodgers. And I stayed up for the whole thing. This was
yeah.
a 7 hour game, ended
Mm-hmm.
at about 3 in the morning. And Shaughnessy said, if you stayed up and watched that game, you're a Red Sox fan. If you stayed up and watched this game between Toronto and Los Angeles, this is speaking to a Boston audience. If you stayed up and watched this game, you're just a baseball fan. And you're also insane because
Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't do it. I actually had stopped watching after 6 innings because it was my bedtime, 10,
Yeah.
10:30, whatever it was. But
Yeah.
the World Series was great. I was rooting for the Canadian team because during the playoffs, they had run the ad about with quotes from Ronald Reagan about tariffs, and
Yeah.
really, really like the chutzpah that they
Love that.
showed in that area,
Love
and
Canada.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But the 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 games were actually quite exciting, and I haven't been that into baseball. Red Sox have been awful until this year. Um, but I got into the playoffs and I got into the World Series, and the seventh and deciding game, which they don't have very often. Um, the Dodgers hit a home run in the top of the ninth to tie the game, went into extra innings, and then at some point the Dodgers threw out a runner at the plate in it was either in the bottom of the ninth or in extra innings, and then um, they hit another home run, and I think it was the 11th inning to go ahead by one, and then Toronto had runners at first and third with one out in the bottom of the 11th inning. All they needed was a fly ball. They would tie the game. And the guy hit it a double play. Game ended, World Series over. Very exciting. Very happy for Mookie Betts, former Red Sox superstar. Never should have left
One of
Boston.
Phoebe's faves.
Absolutely. But very exciting. So I just wanted to alert you to the fact that I enjoyed it,
I'm so
and now
happy
you
for
know who won.
you. I do. Should
So
I
it's been
give
a
you
big week.
a,
It's been a big week for California.
yeah, big week for California. Good for
Prop
them.
50 and the Dodgers. So
Good for them. Good for them. Should I give you a Premier League update? Is that like a,
Sure,
would that be fun for you? We are not
sure.
doing well.
We did well
We're
last weekend.
sitting, we did win last weekend. That was a, if
We
we
being Fulham.
we being Fulham. If we hadn't won last weekend, we would have had some major issues because we beat Wolves, who are sitting bottom of the table and have not won a single game and are really, if they don't get relegated this season,
Well, I believe
that's
after the Fulham
crazy.
game that fired their coach.
They did, yeah, which was, that's been, I mean, that's been a whole thing that they should have done probably after the Burnley game, but whatever. Fulham sitting 15th in the table. We had a
Ouch.
4 game losing streak, which was we should have won at least I think one of those games. But yeah, we're doing okay. I think we'll scrape past relegation, but given last week we were, you know, mid-table top, I think this has not been great. I will say, um we're currently, we're trying to keep our manager right now. We're trying to re-sign Silva, um, who I have grown to really love. I have been watching
You like
the,
his attitude.
I think he's so freaking funny. I've started watching, they do these like little stupid YouTube videos where they'll just have like Premier League players and like the managers like answer silly questions on YouTube and stuff. And I've been like starting to watch them and all of his answers, I'm just like, that's iconic. Like you're a legend. I love you. And
Okay.
he's just so like he's so funny. I just find him hysterical. So we're trying to get him to sign another contract. But also I will say we didn't sign any new players in the transfer window at the beginning of the season except for Kevin. So hopefully in January, maybe that'll bring the team together a little bit. I feel like we've got some good players. I think we need some some chemistry or something. We need like a good energy. There's something like lacking in like I don't know if it's like a good captain or like a motivator or something, but there's something missing from like I will say I think Harry Wilson in the last game was bringing a lot of like passion to the team. He was bringing a lot of kind of like motivation and I mean, he looked tired, man, in that game. By like the second half, like there was one moment where I was like, that dude is gonna pass out. But he was like, you could tell he was like lifting everybody.
Now,
And
I have a
great
question.
players, yeah.
Um, and I think maybe you've told me this before, but Robinson, what happened to Robinson?
He's injured.
How badly?
I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with him, but I we could use him back.
Yeah, he was a very valuable member of
Yeah,
the team, I
he's one
felt.
of our defensemen. And he's one of the probably the top defensemen in the Prem overall, which for to have at our level of team is pretty impressive. So yeah, he's they had him back in one game.
That's what I thought.
They had him back. Was it against Chelsea maybe or something? But yeah, he hasn't been
Like
back
like
since.
3 weeks ago or
Yeah,
so. And
I
yeah.
don't know what's going on with him. We
Now I
haven't
have
really
another
heard
question.
much about him. Yeah, please.
Because I don't really understand all the things about the Premier League.
Yes.
I did see a note that Liverpool was interested in Kevin. And how
Yeah.
does that work? I
What do you
mean,
mean?
is that like they would have to trade him and get something back, or can
Yeah,
Liverpool just
so
come in and sign him?
no, so basically in the in the Prem you have transfer windows. So there's like you can't trade players except for in the transfer windows. So there's one at the beginning of the season and there's one in January. Like it's kind of one at the beginning, one halfway through. If they're interested in a player, um Kevin was our only signing. Yeah, he was our only signing. We do have Josh King, new player, but he came up through our program, like
System.
our system. Um, and he's so adorable. I love him so much, and I'm so sad that his first goal, that shit happened with. It's really problematic, and I hated it, and it's so sad for him. But Kevin is like one of these players who's like really strong tech wise. Like he's very
Skilled.
yeah, he's just like the things he does to like other players is kind of like rude. Like it's just like the way he like maneuvers the ball away from them, you're just like that was honestly like mean. Like why did you do it to them like that? Um but yeah, so I think Liverpool's interested in him, so they would have to wait to sign him till January if they're like
But
interested.
but that's my question. Can
Yeah.
they just sign him
No,
and
so
just
they'd
take him
have to like
away?
yes for him. Like we'd have to reach an agreement. We would
Okay.
sell him to them.
Right.
He's not
Okay.
like a free agent or anything. Like
Okay.
we own
All
him
right.
right now. Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Yeah. So
All right.
it's like, but he's if Liverpool wants him, like we could probably get a lot of money from him. And if we want like a bunch of it depends what like Silva wants to do with the team. Like if he wants to like that's the thing. It's our team, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a I don't really know the direction because I don't think he wants to like reboot the entire team because he has a lot of good players. It's just like the kind of there's kind of like a mismatch in communication almost, and it's like
Hmm.
you need to fill in some gaps more than like wiping everyone away and refilling it. So it's like,
Yeah.
what does he want to do there? So the likelihood that he would sell Kevin to get like a lot of money to then like replace players, it's like
Yeah.
I don't know that he would do that kind of thing. So it kind of just depends.
Okay.
You never know.
All right. What do
Yeah.
we have this week?
I think we're playing Everton this week, which I think is also away, and Everton at home is for them is really hard. I mean, Everton, if you play Everton at their home, it's a hard game for you.
Okay. All right.
So that will likely be a rough one for us, but Everton's not doing as well this season as well. So, but the middle of the tables, I think there's only a 9 point difference right now. So, you know,
Couple of wins and
we're
we're right
still in
back in the
there,
hunt.
still in
All
there.
right.
But it is, I will say, Arsenal might do it this year. They might
All
finally do
right.
it. And they're
We'll
also
see.
doing quite well in the Champions League. So that's, that's
That's
something.
fun. All
Yeah,
right.
they're looking good. But that's all I got for you from across the pond.
Oh, this has been quite a potpourri that we've presented here today.
I know. I hope this was fun for people. Um,
I liked it. I like mixing
yeah,
it up a little bit.
stirring it up.
There you go. Absolutely. And I also like your background with the New York skyline
Oh
in
yeah,
honor of
I
Mom
gotta do it.
Donnie. That was
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Nice touch.
I tried to get the subway system, but apparently that's not a thing. I
Okay.
couldn't find that on YouTube.
All right. Just as well. Probably be flooded.
Yeah, yeah, fair. Free buses, everybody, free buses. All right, everyone. Well, thank you guys for listening. And we will talk to you next week. If you have anything you guys like want us to talk about or anything you want to share, where can you talk to us, Dad?
At girldadpcast@gmail.com. Please reach out, comment, let us know what you think.
Yeah, sounds good. Talk to you next week. Bye, Dad.
Bye, girl. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the episode, follow us on your favorite podcast platforms, rate us, and leave a review.